Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a hands-on review of the Fuji 10-24 f4.
You've been with me all along, always on my side. You've never gone, you've been with me all along.
I haven't done this style of content in a while, but this will be more vlog style where I'm going to take the 10-24, it's on the camera right there. It's what I'm videoing with, and it's what I'm going to be taking photos with on this little journey that I'm about to go on. So it's not going to be a short video, it'll be a little longer because it's as much about the journey as it is about my thoughts and feelings on this lens. So come with me if you'd like. If not, if you just want specs, I'm sure there are other better videos for that. This guy gets to go with me.
You've been with me all along, always on my side. You've never gone.
We are on our way to northern Utah, where I'm going to be running my semi-annual design conference. Many of you know that I'm a part of, that's called Front. But I'm working on a comprehensive zoom lens guide right now, and this is an important lens to be part of that guide. And I don't feel like I know it very well, and I also want to decide if it's a lens that I need in my life or not. So I'm excited to try some landscape photography. We're gonna drive through Zion on our way to our destination. I'm also gonna vlog with it. You saw it there on the rig. So all video, pretty much, except for video where I'm showing that lens, will be taken with the 10-24, because that's the other thing it's really good for. It's great for vlogging with that really wide field of view.
Always on my side, you've never gone.
Of the Patriarchs. Depart the bus here for a trail to a scenic viewpoint.
Go ahead. How about
it is paved and about 150 feet long. It starts on the right side.
We're here at the Court of the Patriarchs as our first stop. Last time I was here getting photos, I didn't have a wide enough lens, and that actually made it difficult to get a long exposure of the river. I did stitch it together, but I just wasn't happy with it, and that was a case where, you know, a lot of people say you don't need a wide lens, you can stitch things together, but doing that long exposure, I really would have preferred a wide lens. So I'm back today to try again. This will actually be the first photo I will have taken with this lens, so I thought it would be appropriate to shoot the majestic Court of the Patriarchs, although, you know, the lighting isn't anything special, severe clear, but I mean these formations are beautiful no matter what the weather is doing. In the Fuji lens lineup, the 10-24 f4 represents Fuji's entry point into wide-angle zoom lenses, and most landscape photographers will tell you that it's probably your first lens purchase if you plan to do landscape with Fuji X. For myself, I've always made do with the 16mm prime lenses when I shoot wide, but there have been times when that hasn't been wide enough. Here I'm shooting at f11 at about 13mm native APS-C focal length and bracketing my exposure, as the dynamic range is well beyond the reach of this sensor with just a single exposure. And for a first photo, I was pleased with the sharpness throughout the image, and there was no noticeable vignetting or fringing, so I'm happy with it. All right, we're behind schedule, so I'm gonna have to really hurry for this next shot so we can get to my conference in time to set up tonight. So yeah, so we gotta hurry. Kind of a steep embankment here. This is a little spot that not many people know about. At least, I don't think many people know about it who come to photograph Zion. Maybe the people who come here regularly, but the water is not running, or it would be more ideal. The reflections are going to not be as amazing as I would like. Actually, yeah, they're not good at all. This is probably really good in the spring, but right now, it's a little lackluster. But since we're here, might as well shoot it. taken photos at this location many times, and while this certainly wasn't the best time of year to be here, this is my favorite shot at this location so far, and I think that has everything to do with using this lens, although it does help that we had a friend in the shot. Have to book it up, but this will give us a chance to test the OIS on this device. The OIS on this lens is supposed to be good, and I am not walking very stably. I think this will appear more stable because it's a wider angle lens, and wider angle lenses give the illusion of stability. I am out of shape. Indeed, after comparing all of Fuji's wide-angle zoom lenses in a separate video, the 10-24 f4 is what I would consider to be Fuji's best performing optical image stabilization in their lenses. This guy was super patient and super helpful in Zion. I don't know a lot of, how old are you, 6?
Yeah.
I really should know my son's age. I don't know a lot of 6-year-olds that would be that patient, so we're rewarding him at the Rock Shop here outside of Zion in Orderville. This place is pretty cool. And while we're here, we'll test the close focus of this lens. Last time I was at a Rock Shop with a lens, I was with the 16mm 1.4, and I got some really close focus shots that I loved. I don't think this will be able to compete, but let's see what we get. Forgive me for repeating this in every video I do, but the 16mm 1.4 prime lens has spoiled me with detail shots with that 1:4 reproduction ratio that allows a wide field of view with that amazing close focus and with a shallow depth of field that can't be beat. I've never shot with another lens on Fuji that has the perfect combination of all of those factors. And so while the 10-24 does have a decent reproduction ratio at the tele end at about 1:6, on the wide end where I really want it to be, it's got a not impressive 1:14 reproduction ratio. Alright, it's time for our final stop on this journey up to northern Utah. This is one of my favorite spots to shoot. This is a little junk car lot outside of Orderville, Utah. The owner is a super nice guy, and he lets us just wander and take photos. So I'm excited to see what sort of wide angle deliciousness I can get with some of these beautiful cars. This will be our last stop though. We're running a little behind and we got to get up north. This has been really fun. I could seriously spend all day here, but we're running late. Got to get up north, so time to go. Next time I see you, we'll be back in somewhere, a studio, or sometime I get a chance to look at these photos and make a final decision. Will I buy this lens, keep this lens, or will it go back on the market? And we're back a month later to finally wrap up my thoughts on this lens. And I think it would be helpful as we do that to put it in comparison with maybe a few other lenses that Fuji offers, some of the primes, but also on the zoom end, get a lay of the land of sorts. And the most natural lens to compare the 10-24 to is the larger 8-16 2.8 lens. Look guys, no bones about it, most everything relating to image quality, build quality will be better with this lens, but it does come with a heavy cost, and I'm not just talking price, because if you're a landscape photographer, you've got to lug this guy around with you in your pack, and it's significantly larger. And the 2.8 aperture will most likely be lost on you. Again, if you're a landscape photographer, you don't need a shallow depth of field. About the biggest difference you'll notice though is sharpness, but only if you're really pixel peeping. And while you might say, well, the f4, that's not gonna work in low light, I would recommend that you check out Michael the Maven's video comparing these two lenses. He does more of a t-stop comparison and finds that the low light ability of the 10-24 is actually maybe even lets more light in. So that's something to consider for you astrophotographers, for you documentary photographers shooting in low light. You may not actually get the value of what you would think you would with a 2.8 aperture in low light. You might actually be just fine with this. And considering the weight savings, that's really compelling. Now, of course, the 10-24 does not have weather resistance, which is a huge bummer to me. That probably helps cut the cost down, but otherwise I would consider this the perfect landscape photographer's lens, especially for those of you who do a significant amount of hiking or backpacking. This is the lens that you'll want until it rains. But when we compare this lens to Fuji's prime lenses, this is where it gets complicated for me personally, and where I start to hesitate to want to shoot with this lens. And the reason for that is that while I do need to go wider than 16mm to shoot landscape on occasion, and plan to do even more wide-angle landscape photography work in 2020, when I'm hiking, I want to shoot details along the trail. And this lens doesn't quite hit the spot when it comes to close focus. So while I do recommend this lens for landscape photographers as probably their first lens, for documentary photographers like myself where landscape takes a back seat, I'm going to recommend sticking with either the 16mm 2.8 or 1.4 or the 14mm 1.4, which is also a sublime lens. Doesn't have quite the close focus ability though that the 16 does. But as a second option, when you do want to do landscape photography, I would recommend the Laowa 9mm 2.8, or at least I think I do. It's on order. I want to try it as an alternative to taking just this out. Now I know having two lenses instead of one, or maybe even three lenses instead of one, it's not quite as ideal, but again, if landscape is a secondary priority to you like it is for me, I'm excited to see what I can get. When you consider that Venus Optics 9mm lens has a close focus ability of 4.5 inches, that gets me pretty excited. Again, if I didn't care about details and capturing the close stuff at the wide angle, I would not hesitate to keep this, but that's what kills it for us. So it's going back on the market for now, but those are my thoughts anyway. Hopefully you found them helpful in some way, but remember, do good with your cameras. We'll talk to you again real soon.